they did this one for Tavares, though. This is a big win. Matthew said it after the game. This one was for him. He's our captain. He's our guy. And this one was for him. So big shout out to the Leafs for coming out and putting that last game behind them and being the Toronto Maple Leafs that we saw in the regular season. All right, welcome back to Unlimited. Big W for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight in Game 2 over the Montreal Canadiens. Big bounce back win. They avenged the John Tavares injury in the best way possible with a big statement win in the next game after that. Before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Tyler and I are doing reactions after every single Leafs playoff game, so subscribe if you want to stay along for the ride, and give the video a thumbs up. And yeah, Tyler Moore, how are you doing? And what were your first initial reactions to this outcome?
I'm doing great. Thanks again for having me on for these. It should be an interesting ride throughout the playoffs. Hopefully it's a long one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought definitely a good bounce back game. It just looked like the Leafs came out with a lot of energy. It was definitely a different tone. I think the Tavares injury took a lot of air out of both teams the first game, so it was a pretty quiet game overall. But this game, I think both teams came out of the gate pretty hot, and I think the Leafs, after giving up that goal there, I think they really kind of got into their zone and really started playing well. They were hard on the forecheck, getting pucks in deep, lots of shots on net, and yeah, it was definitely night and day from the first game. A lot more action, a lot better performance from the Leafs.
Yeah, and I guess like not the start that they wanted, giving up the first goal, but they looked okay, I would say, like throughout the first portion of the game. Like they got a lot of scoring chances, they just couldn't capitalize early on. And then obviously that goal, a little bit of miscommunication in front of net with Hall. They're in front, and Kotkaniemi was able to bang it home, but like just rebounds, and like there was a big scramble in front. It's tough for the goalie and the defenseman to really settle down, especially when you're outnumbered in front of your crease. But then, yeah, they did a great job of bouncing back. You know, we talked about all like adversity, right? In the last episode, coming back from the Tavares injury, and in this game being down 1-0, that's even more adversity, especially when the Leafs wanted to get off to a much better start and probably take the lead early in this game and hold on to it. They didn't get the lead right off the bat, but they managed to come back. Big goal. After that, who got the first? Oh yeah, Jason Spezza got the first goal. Right off the bench, booked it straight into the Toronto zone, intercepted the pass. I think it was intended for Simmons, and then he just basically did his vintage wrist shot and short side on Carey Price. So that was a great one. What did you think of the power play, though? Power play got two big goals, Rasmus Sandin and William Nylander with a good shot there off the Matthews had a great shot that hit the post, and then Nylander banged it home. Why do you think they were able to score tonight? Did you notice anything different about it?
I don't know. I mean, they did give Sandin the chance to play with the top unit there, and he rewarded Keefe's decision with the goal. So we'll see if that sticks. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just higher energy. They just looked a lot more active, a lot more engaged in the play, getting in the corners and fighting for the loose pucks. And I think that just makes all the difference in the playoffs. You can have as many fancy plays drawn up on the power play as much as you want, but at the end of the day, it takes you working harder than the other team to score a goal. And I think that's just what happened. It's definitely nice to see the Leafs power play get back on track, scoring 2 in a game. Obviously, Sandin getting his first career playoff goals is really good to see. I'm really happy they kept him in the lineup. He looked really good to end the regular season there. So it's nice that they reward him for good play with a extended look and decent ice time in the playoffs, especially being on that first power play unit. Keefe definitely could have considered taking him out after he might have made a mistake on that second goal from game 1, but he decides to keep him in, and Keefe gets rewarded by Sandin scoring. So yeah, I think just outworking the other team is really the main difference there. I didn't see them trying to do anything different than they have been on the power play. They just looked a lot more active tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that. A lot more aggressive. They were setting up Matthews a lot for the one-timers, and just puck movement as well was a lot better, I would say. And also, I guess just getting as many power plays as they did helped a lot with just like getting used to the power plays and getting more reps at it. they would improve as they went along. And yeah, that Sandin shot was a big blast, top of the circle. Great heads up play by him just to shoot that on net, and a good pass from Marner as well. And then we see so many times where Matthews hits the puck off the post there on the power play, like he did it in the first game. And the Leafs sometimes, like, they should capitalize more on the rebounds, but they don't. And Nylander did a great job this time of putting that home and putting that like in the corner, not just like panicking with the shot, but it was like a perfectly placed shot, overpriced there. So I think they did a good job of that. Yeah, they showed a lot of clips of like Sandin and Thornton because they were -2 in the first game, but I think both of them had great games in this one. Jack Campbell, once again, I have no problems with him in net. He's looked great. He got like a .930 save percentage last game. It must be somewhere around that this game, if not higher. And yeah, overall, I think really good game, statement game. Really good job from the Leafs. It's going to be tough heading into Montreal, obviously, but maybe it takes a little bit of pressure off them because it's like a business trip, you know, like they're away from Toronto. They can only focus on hockey now, away from their families. And there's no fans in Montreal for games 3 and 4. So maybe that takes a little bit of pressure off them as well and gives the Leafs a bit more of an advantage if there were fans for sure in Montreal. But there's a big debate coming up because there's a back-to-back games on Monday and Tuesday, games 3 and 4. And the debate is, do you play Frederik Andersen in game 4, the second game of the back-to-back? What are your thoughts on that, especially with Campbell playing so well right now?
Yeah, that's obviously a really tough call. I mean, in the regular season there, you saw them pretty reluctant. They didn't even dress Campbell on most of the back-to-backs. They would go with Hutchison as the backup. And um, I mean, in the playoffs, I think you just have to go all out to win every single game. You have to treat every game like it's your last game of the season, no matter what the score in the series is. So I think if Campbell comes out and has another good game like he's had the first 2 games of the series, I think you have to play him for game 4, regardless of the back-to-back. I think it's just too important a game. You can't. I mean, Anderson is obviously, it's a good luxury to have a goalie like Anderson as your backup, but being that he only got into 1 game there to end the regular season, he's only gotten in 1 game in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I
Yeah.
think you have to go with the hot hand no matter what the rest period and just see what happens. If I were Keefe, I would definitely be telling Campbell to be ready to go on a back to back.
I agree with that too. Like like most playoffs, if there's a back to back, like they would go with the starter in both the games. But I think the Leafs have a very unique situation now with having Anderson as a backup, who is basically a starter on any other team. Arguably the starter on the Leaf, not right now, but he was the starter. He's starter caliber, you know.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I agree with you though. I think if Jack Campbell plays well in game 3, like you don't want to mess up the mojo, right? And we know Anderson struggles in the playoffs. Like he hasn't been that good. He's let in some softies. He has stolen a couple of games, but it hasn't worked out, right? So maybe just keep Jack Campbell in, new flow, new vibes, and hopefully different outcome with Campbell. So yeah, hopefully he doesn't get like 50 saves in game 3 and like just get so tired, Jack Campbell. But I don't think that's going to happen. The Leafs have played super well defensively, so
yeah, no, another game like tonight where I think he ended up with less than 20 shots on goal. I think that would be ideal if the Leafs can limit it to 20-25 shots in game 3. I think he should be good to go. That's definitely good enough. Not seeing a lot of action. Like even the 20 shots he faced tonight there weren't really many opportunities or chances when he needed to make a great save tonight. It was a pretty quiet game on his end. The Leafs seemed to drive a lot of the plays. So if Leafs can carry that momentum and limit the shots and chances in game 3, I think he should definitely be well rested going into game 4.
I think so too. Yeah, you just got to run with him. I think he's been great, and let's hope that keeps going. So, yeah, I think that's really all we have to discuss on. Like the John Tavares injury update, I guess. 2 weeks with a knee injury, similar to the one that Zach Hyman has. Did you hear about that? The knee. He
No,
hurt
I
his
didn't
knee.
hear it was a knee.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, concussion.
interesting. Yeah,
Concussion is the
well,
first one,
obviously.
and then also like no neck injury or spine
That's good.
injury. But yeah, he got a knee injury suffered on the hit from Ben Sherratt. So that's a 2-week timetable, and then the concussion there's no timetable for. But I think like we said in the last video, like concussions can kind of vary. Like
Exactly. You never know.
tough to
But that's interesting. So he got injured on both hits. He got injured on the initial hit from Sherrod, and
yeah.
then the knee from Perry
It would have
gave him
been
the.
really interesting to see like if Tavares got up from just the knee because like I don't
Mhm.
know how serious that knee is. Like they're comparing it to the Hyman injury, but the way that Tavares reacted to just the knee, I guess, like it was just a quick reaction before he Perry kneed him, but it didn't look like he was in a lot of pain from just that knee.
Mhm.
Um, but it would have been cool to see if he could actually skate off on his own power and stuff like that. But yeah, 2-week timetable for the knee, which is good. You know, it's like second round, I guess, if they make it. But then the concussion, you don't know how serious it is, and it's tough to even evaluate concussions. And the severity of them, like some can take a couple weeks, some can take months, or longer than that. Let's hope it's short. But the Leafs are gonna take their time with it, I think, and do it whatever's right. So yeah, they did this one for Tavares, though. This is a big win. Matthew said it after the game. This one was for him. He's our captain. He's our guy, and this one was for him. So big shout out to the Leafs for coming out and putting that last game behind them and being the Toronto Maple Leafs that we saw in the regular season. So
Yeah. It
yeah, I
was
think
also
that
good to
yeah
see Foligno there getting
yeah
in
he did
the
great
second
too.
line center. He was great on the draw. I think that's all you can ask for.
I think he
He
he won like 12 draws and
I
lost
think I
2.
heard that. Yeah, 12-2 on the draw, so you can't ask for much more. Obviously, he's not known as the biggest offensive guy, and you're not exactly gonna replace the production that Tavares can do. So yeah,
Yeah,
just getting in, winning draws, being good defensively, hard on the forecheck is kind of all you can ask for. So hopefully he keeps up that, and it gives a chance for a guy like I think Engvall was who got into the lineup tonight
hmm
with Tavares out, so gives Engvall a chance to get in. Maybe they try to rotate guys through. Maybe Brooks sees a game
yeah.
that
Galchenyuk was in
they're
there too tonight.
Galchenyuk was
Because
in there too.
Nash
So
was out. Yeah,
yeah, so nice to see them kind of rotating guys through the lineup to see what works, and hopefully Brooks will get a game in there for his first taste of playoff hockey and see what
maybe.
he can do. And yeah, just an injury always opens up opportunities for some of the lesser guys. So hopefully one of them can step up and
Yeah.
get a goal or get a big assist or a big hit or something like that, and really make a name for themselves.
I really liked Engvall's game tonight. He was flying out there. He had a couple great scoring chances. Price, like there was one that like just nicked the top of Carey Price's pad. Could have gone in. But yeah, he's been good. He's a good penalty killer as well. But yeah, I agree. They got so much depth with Brooks and Riley Nash now sitting on the bench too. They can always bring him back in. So and like the Marlies just finished their season too, so a bunch of them will be coming onto the taxi squad. I'm sure
Yeah,
Roberts
Robertson might see a game,
he
and
might, yeah, for sure. The back to back might be really telling of
mhm,
what the Leafs plan to do, but then again, like you play your best guys, right? You play your best
yeah,
guys. It's playoff time. Like Mitch Marner played 27 minutes in game 1. I didn't even know that when we were doing the
wow,
reaction. Like that's crazy stuff. But yeah, anyways, the superstition worked. Kinda. I didn't really get it up by the end of last episode. But I got 2 of them now. I think it looks pretty good. I'm lucky that I made it so that I'm in the middle and I'm not cutting them off. But yeah, we will be back on Monday night reacting to Game 3 against Montreal. Should be a great one. Tyler, thank you very much for coming out and doing this again. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Like the video, and we will see you guys on Monday night / Tuesday morning for Game 3 reaction. See you guys later.